One of Kentucky's most famous natural attractions is Mammoth Cave National Park. But you may not know that there are quite a few caves in southern Indiana as well. For this morning's installment of AM Adventures, WLKY's Mark Vanderhoff takes us to Indiana Caverns in Harrison County.
This deep, dark hole leads 20 stories beneath the surface. It's part of the Deep Darkness Tour, the latest adventure to open up this past weekend at Indiana Caverns. The Deep Darkness Tour is a wild caving experience. We went with Indiana Caverns guide Rob Houchins.
We're going over 200 feet below the surface, or 20 stories down. Think of a tall building in downtown Louisville or someplace like that.
After descending 93 feet of ladder, we roped up again. Then we made our way down a steep embankment. These waterfalls were the reward at the bottom.
Actually, when they discovered some of this section, they came up through the waterfall to come through there, and actually had to climb through the water to be able to get into this section of the cave.
Geologist and guide Sarah Blevins says the tour follows an underground stream that's part of the Binkley Cave system.
Caves will form slowly over time. It takes thousands, tens of thousands of years for the caves to form. It all starts with the underground stream.
As we waded through the water, we saw another waterfall and some stalactites. When the water became too deep, we got into kayaks.
But not only is it regular kayaking, but then you're going through some really tight spaces. Actually, where you actually slide down into your kayak, you're laying down, and you're using your hands against the ceiling because it's a low ceiling area.
Greg Parrish of Mount Washington says he wants to bring his friends back.
It is a very high adventure atmosphere down here. A lot of climbing, a lot of water. I would probably want to come with them to see their faces.
Well, I've been on a lot of adventures, but I can truly say that was one of the most unique adventures that I have ever been on. Underground in Harrison County, Mark Vanderhoff, WLKY News. It was rowdy, even theatrical at times. Even Governor Matt Bevin, who said last year that Fancy Farm was too negative, got into the spirit.
Do we really miss Papa Bear and Baby Bear up here spewing their anger from the... Wait a minute. Seriously, I just got sued by the Attorney General. Apparently I'm not allowed to quote nursery rhymes or stories without his permission.
That was Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin taking a dig at former Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear and his son, current Attorney General Andy Beshear. None of the Beshears were there to defend themselves, but it was classic Fancy Farm.
We need you to get out and work so that we can flip the State House and give Governor Bevin friends that can work with him.
This stuff matters. It matters who you send to office. Whether or not it's city council or the governor's seat, we need people who are going to be determined, hardworking, and effective. And in the past 4 years, my opponent has passed a grand total of 0 pieces of legislation.
Lexington Mayor Jim Gray is challenging U.S. Senator Rand Paul, so Paul hammered Gray on a failed downtown Lexington development.
Now people are curious. They wonder, how could Mayor Gray have left this gaping hole downtown for nearly a decade? I heard the real reason that the big hole is still there, why he stopped work on the big hole, because he heard there was coal in it.
Live bugs and viable eggs setting up shop in your child's hair. It sounds, well, awful.
They're little parasites that are designed to hold on to a hair shaft, and that's where they live. And they feed off the blood in your scalp.
Dr. Melissa Agan is a pediatrician with Kosair Children's Hospital Medical Associates, Brownsboro.
And they don't fly or hop between things. They actually have to just crawl. So they have to crawl from head to head or from clothing to clothing.
Kids are most prone to lice between the preschool and elementary school ages. Dr. Agan says if lice is suspected, it's best to check behind the ears and at the base of the neck for bugs. She recommends an over-the-counter kit as the first line of defense. A shampoo to kill the bugs, followed by a special comb to pull out the nits or eggs.
If you are checking every 2 to 3 days, you'll know before anybody if your child has it again.
For many parents, the process of delicing is overwhelming. In that case, help is available in the form of a mom who makes house calls. Meet the Knit Nanny.
And every mom that calls me, they're panicked. So the first thing I have to do is just calm them down. It's just lice. It's nothing we can't get through in 1 hour.
She is the answer to many parents' prayers. Betsy Harrington started the Knit Nanny business out of her home in Lexington. She routinely travels to Louisville. The idea was born after her own son picked up lice at school.
I went to the pharmacy, paid however much money, bought new pillows, bought new combs and brushes, and I even bought a new mattress. And people do that. I mean, you just go overboard.
With her calming voice and careful hands, Betsy clears the bugs with a non-toxic shampoo and follows up with a meticulous combing routine to remove the eggs.
Kids who are very social, kids who like to be together, those are the kids who wind up passing it around.